The desert doesn't forgive mistakes. By dawn, the heat already cuts through the silence like a blade. A single truck bounces along the dirt road, carrying men who think they own the land, men who believe power comes from the barrel of a gun. They don't know that inside the vehicle they're chasing is someone they should have never touched. A border patrol agent. And a man with a past they couldn't imagine. The radio crackles. Voices in Spanish. Laughter. Confidence. They think it's just another day of business, another hostage, another deal. But this time, they've picked the wrong man. Agent Nathan Cole had done this route 100 times. Desert patrol, early morning, quiet skies. But the quiet today felt wrong. Too still. Too perfect. He slowed down, scanning the empty road ahead. Then, a blinding flash. A sudden explosion of dust and sound. The front of his vehicle lifted, then slammed back down. The windshield shattered. Before he could reach for his weapon, masked men swarmed him, dragging him from the truck, fists and rifles colliding with his ribs and head. One voice yelled, "Tenemos el gringo." Another laughed. A bag over his head. Zip ties cutting into his wrists. And then, darkness. Hours later, the bag comes off. Cole blinks through the light, sees the outlines of armed men, a rusty truck, a table full of weapons and beer bottles. The desert stretches endlessly behind them, shimmering under the merciless sun. The leader, a man called El Lobo, circles him like a predator. "American cop?" he asks in broken English. Cole doesn't answer. El Lobo smirks. "You think your friends come for you? Out here, no one comes." Cole stares back. His lips are cracked, eyes steady. He doesn't flinch. Because this isn't the first time he's been captured. Years ago, in the black sands of a war he doesn't speak of, he learned what fear smells like, and how to kill it. That night, the cartel celebrates their new catch. They don't realize their prisoner is listening. Counting footsteps. Mapping voices. Every sound becomes data. Every laugh becomes a weakness. He notices a nervous young guard, barely 20, with shaking hands and a cheap pistol. Cole watches him every time he passes. He's the weak link. The moon rises. Cole pretends to sleep. In the shadows, a whisper of wind moves the tent flap. He hears the click of a safety off, not near him, but at the edge of the camp. A shift in rhythm. Someone new. He opens one eye. Two men argue near the generator, drunk, careless. The young guard tries to calm them. And that's when Cole sees it, the location of the fuel drums, the electrical cords, the careless placement of a lantern near the fumes. A map of chaos. A weapon disguised as chance. He's waiting for the right moment. He knows it will come. The night deepens. The laughter fades. Soon, only the generator hums, steady and hypnotic. Cole breathes slowly, counting. 1, 2, 3. He feels for the sharp edge of a metal stake buried in the dirt behind him. Twists his wrists against the zip ties. Pain explodes through his arms, but the ties weaken. The hum of the generator hides the faint snap. He's free. He doesn't move yet. He waits. Listens. The drunk men start snoring. The young guard lights a cigarette. Now. Cole rolls, silent as a shadow, grabs the guard from behind, one hand clamping his mouth, the other pressing a shard of metal against his throat. "Don't move," he whispers. The boy freezes. "Listen carefully," Cole says. His voice is low, calm, terrifyingly controlled. "You help me, and you live." The guard nods, trembling. Cole points to the generator. "Where's the fuel line?" The boy gestures weakly. Cole smiles. "Good. Now walk." They move between the tents, every footstep drowned by the steady hum of the generator. Cole kneels, disconnects the line, and reroutes it to the base of the machine. A slow leak begins, invisible, silent, deadly. He takes the guard's lighter. "Run," he says. The boy hesitates, eyes wide with terror. Cole looks at him once more. "Run." As the boy disappears into the darkness, Cole flicks the lighter and drops it. The flame ignites instantly. A roar of fire erupts behind him, consuming the camp in an explosion of light and sound. Screams echo through the desert as Cole vanishes into the night, disappearing into the dunes. The fire eats the night. Sparks climb into the dark as the camp collapses in waves of panic. Men shout names. Bullets stutter wildly into the dunes. Somewhere, a truck engine coughs and dies. Cole moves low, counting breaths, letting the chaos widen the gaps he needs. He isn't running aimlessly. He is charting a line. By sunrise, he's miles away, footprints swallowed by wind. He drinks from a cracked cattle trough, then studies the ridge line. He remembers the faces, El Lobo's jackal grin, the scarred driver, the jittery look in the sniper's eyes. He files them like targets on a range. The hunt begins. A dust trail knifes across the basin. 2 pickups. He crouches behind a creosote bush and waits. When they pass, he slips into their wake, ghosting along a dry arroyo. He spots their radio tower on a hill, homemade, ugly, effective. He smiles. Cut the eyes, blind the beast. He reaches the tower by noon. 2 guards, bored, sunburned, arguing about soccer. Cole studies their rhythm, then breaks it. A handful of gravel to the far side. Every head turns. He steps from shadow, fast and silent. 1 elbow, 1 choke, 1 wrist lock. The second lunges, and Cole takes his center, drops him into the dust, palms the pistol before it hits the ground. 10 seconds. 2 bodies asleep. He removes the fuses, pockets the batteries, smashes the transmitter with a rock. The cartel's net tears. As he leaves, he sees the young guard from the camp in the distance, alone, walking, looking over his shoulder like a hunted coyote. Cole hesitates. He could vanish. But ghosts owe debts too. He whistles, a short bird call. The boy freezes. Then, cautiously, he approaches. "You told me to run," the boy says, voice raw. "And you listened." Cole scans the horizon. Where would El Lobo go? The boy swallows. The well. The one they call La Boca. In the Badlands. Can you get me there? The boy nods, fear warring with something else, shame, maybe hope. Then you stay behind me, Cole says. No heroics. You walk out of this alive. They move at dusk. Coyotes cry somewhere beyond the ridge. The sky burns orange then bleeds to purple. Cole shares a strip of jerky, a mouthful of water. The boy asks, "You a cop?" "Today," Cole says. "Tonight I'm something else." They reach La Boca in the blue hour. An ancient windmill shivers over a concrete ring. Trucks are parked in a half-circle. Men smoke and joke, but their shoulders are tight now, their swagger clipped. Their radios are dead and they don't know why. Fear chews at them. Cole studies the geometry. 1 sniper on the tank, bored. 2 men near the trucks, rifles slung lazily. El Lobo is not visible, but his presence is everywhere, orders carried in short, angry barks. Cole lays a hand on the boy's shoulder. When the lights fail, count 5. Then drop into the trench. Don't look back. What lights? You'll know. Cole's calm is colder than the night. He moves along the edge of the basin, using mesquite and shadow like armor. He finds the power box feeding floodlights strung on poles. He pulls the batteries taken from the radio tower and rigs them with wire and a pinched fuel line from an old generator. A crude charge. Imperfect, ugly, enough. The moment stretches. He breathes. Sparks kiss gas. The floodlights explode in a shower of glass and white fire. Men yell. The sniper on the tank flinches, lifts his scope, sees nothing but afterimages. Cole is already moving. He puts a controlled burst into the generator to drown the camp in smoke. Then the first truck's tire size flat, his knife work paying off. The second tries to turn, the sand sucks it to the axle. He enters the storm like a memory of war. One guard stumbles out, blind, coughing. Cole drops him with a strike to the throat, steals his rifle, and aims at the tank, one shot, then another. The sniper tumbles like a sack of sand. Nos Atacan, someone screams. El Gringo. Cole hears his name, hears the fear wrapped around it, and doesn't let it touch him. He moves to the well, peering through the smoke. A shape emerges, El Lobo. Close. Furious. Reckless. He sprays bullets wildly. Cole waits for the rhythm, then steps between bursts and drives him behind the concrete ring. They crash together, dust exploding. El Lobo claws for a knife. Cole pins the wrist, twists. The blade clatters away. You think you can take my land? El Lobo spits. This is cartel country. Cole's gaze is steady. This is just ground. He throws El Lobo against the well, hard enough to knock the air from his lungs. But men make choices. The fight turns brutal, close, primitive. Fists, elbows, knees. El Lobo is strong and mean, but Cole is precise. He doesn't try to win every exchange. He steals balance, steals breath, takes space like water filling cracks. When El Lobo finally draws a hidden pistol, Cole is already there, trapping the slide with his palm, twisting, breaking the line of fire. The shot barks into the sky. Cole strips the weapon, bats it into the sand. Sirens whisper on the wind, distant, uncertain. The boy must have found a signal from the tower parts and called it in. Or maybe it's just luck. It doesn't matter. Cole doesn't wait for salvation. He creates it. He drags El Lobo into the open and shouts in Spanish, voice like thunder, "It's over. Walk away or don't walk at all." Men hesitate. Some drop rifles. Some do not. The ones who don't vanish into the smoke. The ones who do stare at their hands like the guns betrayed them. El Lobo laughs through blood. "You won't kill me. Cop." Cole leans in, so close their foreheads nearly touch. "You're right," he says quietly. "I don't need to." He zip-ties the cartel boss with his own laces, then tapes his hands with plastic pulled from the light box, ugly, efficient, unbreakable. Headlights crest the ridge, border units, county deputies, a federal task force that will take credit for a storm they never felt on their skin. Cole lifts his hands as they pour into the basin, weapons drawn, commands crashing over each other. The boy rises from the trench, shaking, eyes shining with shock that looks a lot like relief. Cole stands very still. He lets the uniform surround him. A sergeant approaches, wary. "Agent Cole?" He nods. "What the hell happened here?" Cole's gaze slides to the cratered light poles, the smoking trucks, El Lobo bound at his feet. "A mistake," he says. "They made one. I corrected it. The processing takes hours." Statements stacked like spent shells. The sergeant keeps glancing at Cole as if he might dissolve with the sunrise. Finally, as the horizon glows, a quiet agent with a scar across his jaw steps close. Off the record, the agent says, "How'd you really pull this off?" Cole looks toward the boy sipping water under a blanket. People forget, he says, fear cuts both ways. Teach it to the right man, it returns to the sender. The agent studies him, then nods, like he's heard a truth he won't put in ink. You should get some sleep. Cole almost smiles. Sleep comes later. He walks to the boy. You did good. I thought I would die. You didn't, Cole says. Use that. He slips a crumpled card into the boy's hand, contact for a shelter across the line, a program that erases footprints. Choose a different road.